CCJ's 1044 is brought to you by Chevron Dello Heavy Duty Diesel Engine Oil. Now there's even more reasons to choose Dello. The Trump administration is once again looking into making some adjustments to truck drivers' sleeper berth times. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jason Cannon and my co-host is Matt Cole. FMCSA last month announced 2 hours of service-related pilot programs that would give drivers more flexibility in how and when they take breaks. Last week, we discussed a split duty period program that would allow truck drivers to pause their daily 14-hour clock for between 30 minutes and 3 hours each duty cycle.
This week, we're looking at the Flexible Sleeper Berth Pilot Program, which would allow participants to utilize more split sleeper berth options, including a 6-4 and a 5-5 hour split, in addition to the currently allowed up to 7 and 3 hour splits.
Safety groups, I would say, number one, are going to say, hey, man, we don't like this idea because we don't like the driver driving 5 hours, sleeping, and going back and forth. They're going to say, look, a driver doesn't get enough rest after 5 hours. But there are truck drivers, and I have a handful that say, look, I can't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours. I just sit there doing one of these, counting the time to go by. So I do like the 7-hour break or the 8-hour break, the current one, because it gives the drivers rest, and I like it for that reason. I think that would be a little more safe.
This 4-month proposed pilot sounds a lot like a sleep study for truck drivers. As proposed, participating drivers would receive a study-provided smartphone installed with data collection applications necessary for research, such as fatigue measurement apps, survey apps, and such. Drivers also will receive a smartwatch. But before we hear more about that, let's hear from our sponsor, Chevron Lubricants.
We serve customers from Birmingham, Alabama to the Gulf Coast, so our people and our trucks are booked solid all day. There is no slack in our schedules. These trucks can't break down. I choose an engine oil that takes care of the number one issue with our engines, emissions, so we don't have to worry about DPF clogging. I choose the engine oil that keeps our trucks hauling. I choose Dello 600 ADF.
I would like to see this data because what we have now, we already have, I believe, a good amount of data because we've been running this thing for almost the 5th year. And so we know what the current one does. I'd like to see this one. Maybe they figure out something in between. One of my frustrations when trucking was, how this, there'd be some nights you'd be running and you're not tired, man. It's a full moon. You got a lot of energy. You're like, man, I wish I could make another 200 miles. I could easily make another 200 miles, but you can't because your hands untired. And I always tell my drivers like this, look, if you're tired, I want you to go to sleep. And I tell them at nighttime, go to sleep between midnight, if possible, if you're not making a nighttime delivery, midnight and 5 o'clock, I want you in bed sleeping because that's when most accidents happen. It's like the danger zone. Even if a breakdown, it's hard to get somebody out there.
The Mayo Clinic recommends that adults get at least 7 hours of sleep, and the 5 and 5 split would pull up just short of that. Now, there's plenty of people who can get by just fine on 5 hours of sleep. The problem will be the people who just think they can.
This 5-hour driving, 5-hour sleeping, could be done temporarily. You can't run week after week, month after month doing this because, truck driving is just a hard job as it is. It's mentally exhausting. People think that, you just sit behind the wheel. Good luck. I'd love to put those people in. The motoring public doesn't understand. They just don't understand. They just see truck drivers as a nuisance on the road. But in the long run, that could burn a driver out. And that is where these study groups are coming in and saying, when the driver's young, 23, that's a different story. But also, all my older truck drivers are like in their 60s to say, listen, I haven't slept 7 hours for 10 years.
That's it for this week's 1044. You can read more on ccjdigital.com. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter and stay up to date on the latest in trucking industry news and trends. If you have any questions or feedback, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you can catch us again next week.